I love that Elon, so upset the people over in the UK and Europe writ large, that the EU is actually warning him. This was ahead of the Trump conversation, saying, you better watch it tonight, that you can't have any incitements to violence or hate speech or racism. And if you do, you could potentially be arrested. You're having that exact plan and arrest argued for in the paper today, suggesting really that's the only thing that will make Elon listen to these international, in particular European constrictions on speech. And Elon's response to this was to fuck off. I'll get the exact quote. It was better than that. I think it was, to be precise, go fuck your face. That was... That was.
Is it something about us that we just like let loose?
I love when Megyn curses with us.
I know. Every time.
I'm just trying to be accurate in my reporting of the story, Bethany. So yes. How did you think it went last night? And what do you make of the advanced leftist freakout about the platforming of hate?
He's one of the candidates running for president. Do the people really think that he shouldn't be platformed? What country are we living in? And I love Elon using the F words. I love him using it creatively. That's all terrific. But, I would say that we fought a war not to care what Europe thinks. And so here we are. We shouldn't worry about their insane anti-free speech laws because we live in America. Elon is now an American. This is not our problem anymore, that you guys can't deal with the fact that people will say things that you disagree with. We're a little bit past that. I listened to the whole thing on X. I thought it was really excellent. I don't love listening to stuff like that. I'm not like every interview politically, I listen to that. I don't. And I really enjoyed that. It was casual. It was smart. I heard things that I never heard before from Donald Trump. I thought it was excellent. Well done. Lots of listeners. I mean, they're saying they had 1 billion listeners ultimately. Impressive and amazing.
I feel the need to correct the record on that. They say there were 1 billion views. We don't know what that means. I think a view is counted even if you scroll right past it. I mean, there's no way there were 1 billion views of that, actual watches of that last night, because if there were, it would be the lead story in every newspaper and publication worldwide. Like that's not. But I'm sure there were tons of eyeballs. It's just, this is an X marketing device that they use to try to boost whatever big thing they're getting behind. That's just for the record. So Bethany, by the way, it was in The Guardian, and it was an ex-Twitter boss who said he has a way of grabbing Elon's attention. If he keeps stirring unrest, he doesn't like some of his posts on what's happening in London, get an arrest warrant. And same thing, talking about how it was clear from my 8 years at the platform that there's something lost in translation between British interpretations of free speech and those parroted by a U.S. libertarian interpretation of the concept. Correct, sir. Correct. There is something lost in translation. It's called the U.S. Constitution, and that's what we follow over here. We don't follow your definitions of hate speech. Thank God, as Karol points out, whole war was fought to get rid of those shackles.
Yeah, no, thank God. I mean, what was really interesting to me was that all of these folks who were, preemptively up in arms about anything that could be said, none of them have listened to Elon Musk's talk. They've never listened to Donald Trump talk. They have this caricature in their minds of what these folks sound like that has no basis in reality. And I was really disturbed watching a lot of these individuals who, like, DEI is their entire personality. They're always talking about inclusivity and blah, 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 blah. And as soon as they actually heard Elon Musk speak, they said, oh, this is rambling. He sounds like an idiot. He's on the spectrum. He talks about being on the spectrum. And all of their sweet talk about inclusivity went out the window the second an actually autistic individual got onto a platform in which he could speak freely. I thought it was really disturbing and really instructive about how committed they actually are to inclusivity. They're not.
But don't forget, Bethany, joy. This is the joy party. It's having such a good time.
I just want to add also that a Washington Post reporter also tried to shut down this conversation. He asked Karine, the spokeswoman at the White House.
Oh, we have this. Hold on, Karol. Let me play it. And then you react on the back end. So yes, for the audience, this is a Washington Post reporter at the White House press briefing asking Karine Jean-Pierre one of the dumbest questions we've ever heard. Here it is.
Elon Musk is slated to interview Donald Trump tonight on X. I don't know if the president is going to tune in. Feel free to say if he is or not. But I think that misinformation on Twitter is not just a campaign issue. It's a America issue. What role does the White House or the president have in sort of stopping that, or stopping the spread of that, or sort of intervening in that? Some of that was about campaign misinformation, but it's a wider thing, right?
Yeah, no, and you've heard us talk about this many times from here about the responsibilities that social media platforms have when it comes to misinformation, disinformation.
That person asking the question is an idiot, Karol, an absolute idiot. I can't believe that he considers himself a member of the press. And it works for the Washington Post. Go ahead.
It's crazy. I mean, I think that we used to have at least some faith that these people weren't full on lackeys the way they are. But the last 2 months have really opened some eyes. I don't just say people who are political, like the three of us, where we're really involved. I hear from people all the time that how can I believe anything that this media is telling me, because Joe Biden was hidden from view. We were told he was totally fine. He's not totally fine. Then they just swap him out. I think all of that has really broken trust with kind of more normie people who maybe don't follow things quite as closely as we do. And then hearing this kind of question in the White House to say, how can we shut down speech that we don't like, is just unbelievable. It's un-American. Right. It's unacceptable.
So yeah, it's one of the best known, most famous, richest men in the world, somebody who's created, I don't know how many thousands, hundreds of thousands of American jobs, Elon Musk, wants to have a public conversation with the man who was president and is running to be president again. And the question at the White House by a member of the White House press corps is, what are you going to do to stop it? What are you, Karine Jean-Pierre, going to do to stop it and rein in the misinformation in this press conference, in this conversation that I wasn't invited to? I mean, he could listen, but that I'm not allowed to participate in. See, I am the gatekeeper. That's what he's saying. I get to decide what the parameters are. And I feel really uncomfortable when people are going outside of my controlled circles, like to X with Elon, and having a free-flowing conversation, Bethany. He's literally, you can see he's uncomfortable with it.
Yeah, no, it's completely authoritarian. And what's been interesting having Elon take over X was seeing, we thought we had free speech in this country, and then watching the Twitter files come out and seeing, wow, they absolutely silenced people who were against all the COVID restrictions. They actively worked with the government in order to make sure that people could not speak freely. But I'm thinking back to, remember the tips line that Obama had during Obamacare? They've always footsied with this authoritarian stuff where, don't be afraid to report misinformation. And we are the determiner of what misinformation is. We saw that really, really balloon during COVID. One of the disturbing things that I heard again and again from doctors when we were researching stolen youth was that they said that the medical associations were making it possible for them to lose their licenses if they spoke misinformation about COVID. And then that definition of misinformation then spread to misinformation about reproductive rights. And you could not give misinformation about reproductive rights if you were an OBGYN. So all of this stuff, all of this authoritarian leanings, it has been going on for 10 years, but really, really hit the gas during COVID.
The conversation was fascinating. I said before on the show, to me, Trump was too rambly. He's just got to write tight, Trump. Write tight. Keep it tight. It's too long. You can't follow. And I'm in the business, So it's like regular civilians are like, I only have a limited amount of time for this. I got to put my kids to bed. I got to get ready for work. You got to write tight. Anyway, But there were some fascinating exchanges. Here was one in which Trump was trying to make the case against Kamala. It's that one.
Obviously, what's happening sort of overnight is they're rewriting history and making Kamala sound like a moderate when in fact she is far left, like far left.
Worse than Bernie Sanders. She is considered more liberal by far than Bernie Sanders. She's a radical left lunatic. And if she's going to be our president, very quickly, you're not going to have a country anymore. And she'll go back to all of the things that she believes in. She believes in defunding the police. She believes in no fracking, zero. You don't. Now all of a sudden she's saying, no, I really want to see fracking. If they got in, the day she got in, she'll end fracking.
Are you ready to transform your nights and elevate your days? Discover the unparalleled comfort and luxury of Cozy Earth. I love Cozy Earth. I love their bamboo sheet set and their towels and their loungewear. Their sheet set's made with premium viscose from bamboo, and these sheets are incredibly soft, and they get softer with every wash. And their breathability, unmatched. They keep you cool all night, every night, which gives you a better day the next day. But that's not all. Cozy Earth's bath collection is a game changer, especially the Luxe bath sheets. These towels, crafted with a unique blend of cotton and bamboo viscose, using innovative technology, are impossibly soft and plush. Quality and durability are at the heart of Cozy Earth. And with a 10-year guarantee, Cozy Earth products are built to last. Upgrade your nights, transform your days with Cozy Earth. Just go to CozyEarth.com/Megyn and use code Megyn for up to 40% off your order. CozyEarth.com/MEGYN for up to 40% off. Mention you heard about Cozy Earth on our show, and they're going to send you a pair of free socks. How do you like them apples? Check it out. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.